this is Shannie from Baker Creek, and today I'm going to talk to you about longevity vegetables and growing a longevity garden. What are longevity vegetables, you ask? Those are just a few varieties that I've pulled together that have extensive research done on them on their effects for health and longevity. So these varieties are either packed with antioxidants or they've got other properties that really contribute to healthful aging and living a long life. Most of these varieties are things that were pulled from the blue zone diet. Now these are areas that have been designated as hotspots where people have been shown to live longer. So these are places like Icaria, Greece, Sardinia, Italy, Okinawa, Japan, Nicoya, Costa Rica, and Loma Linda, California. Those are the 5 primary places where they have found hotspots where people are living to an incredibly old age. So we're pulling some of our favorite varieties and our favorite crops from those areas, and we're just going to take some notes from the pros. We're going to grow some of the same things that they've been growing and eating for so many generations, that's contributing to their longevity and their health in old age. So the island of Okinawa actually celebrates incredible longevity. Some of the oldest living population in the world are living in Okinawa, Japan. There's a huge population of people living into their 100s in Okinawa, and a major dietary staple there is bitter melon. This is not something that we see much in the Western diet at all, perhaps because we don't have much of a taste for that bitter flavor. But on Okinawa, this is traditionally sliced and prepared into soup. It can be eaten raw. There's many different preparations for bitter melon, but the real secret to it is actually its blood sugar regulating qualities. It's known as an anti-diabetic, and it can really help with blood sugar regulation. And that's essential in the older age. That's one of the major difficulties in a Western diet, is diabetes does become a major problem in your older age. And so on Okinawa, much less of an incidence of diabetes, and that is largely related to the bitter melon in their diet. If you're just starting out eating bitter melon and you're worried that the flavor might be a little bit too bitter, try something like Okinawan White. This variety is a little bit more mild, and it's got a really great juicy flavor. And this one is amazing if you want to blend it into smoothies. That's how I eat bitter melon, is I blend it into smoothies. Or you can make it into the traditional Okinawan soup. It's just kind of a miso soup with bitter melon chunks. So give bitter melon a try. It's actually really easy to grow, and it actually makes a really nice edible ornamental too. So especially on the Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica and in Okinawa, Japan, beans are super heavy in the diet. In Okinawa, it's in the form of soybeans. In Nicoya Peninsula, it's specifically black beans. But really, if you get any beans into your diet, they're going to help with your blood sugar regulation. They're going to help leave you satisfied. They're a great meat substitute, and they're very filling. I have this variety here. This is the succotash bean. This was grown by the Narragansett Native American tribe in New England and Rhode Island, more specifically in Connecticut. And this variety is essential for succotash, which is said to have been served at the first Thanksgiving, and it's incredibly protein rich. It's a mix of veggies, and it's super helpful. So you might want to try making some succotash. I also really like making these into bean burgers. They're super meaty, they're easy to cook up, they cook up quickly, and this variety is excellent for northern gardeners. It's adapted to the northern climate, so they're going to mature quickly, and it's a super easy dry bean. Another consistent theme in the diets of folks that live to a healthy old age are lots and lots of leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables are things like broccoli, Asian greens, cauliflower, cabbage, and so we've got things like the Nero di Toscana cabbage, the super dark green leafy greens, and they're packed with antioxidants, glucosinolates most specifically. So Nero di Toscana cabbage is a great one to work into your diet. It's easy to grow, it's very prolific. You're going to be harvesting all season long, tons of leaves, and you can eat these raw in salads. You can lightly steam them. You can make them into smoothies. This is a super versatile, easy to grow superfood that you can quickly get in your garden and into your diet. One of my favorite greens that I had just recently discovered is tatsoi. This is nicknamed vitamin green because it's so incredibly high in vitamin C. So it's great for the immune system. It's just an overall health promoting green. And this is going to be something that's really specifically popular in the Okinawan diet. Lots of Asian greens in that diet. Those things would be swirled into miso soups traditionally, but you have to get some of these greens into your diet. They're super high in antioxidants. And don't forget your bitter greens. Places like Sardinia, Italy, people are shown to live to a ripe old age, very healthy, and they include lots of bitter greens in their diet, whether it's dandelion greens or these more refined kind of radicchios and anything in the chicory family. But that bitter flavor, much like bitter melon, is going to really help with blood sugar regulation. It's going to help you from really spiking your blood sugar. And they're also incredibly satisfying. They help to really curb overeating. So nuts are an essential part of the diet of the Seventh-day Adventists of Loma Linda, California. They're said to eat a handful of nuts every day. They're also really important in the Mediterranean diet. Studies have shown nuts to be helpful in the prevention of heart attack and stroke, and they're known to be one of the most nutrient-dense plant foods on the planet. So squash is another one that's really important in the diets of both the people in Okinawa, Japan, and also the people of Nicoya, Costa Rica. It's an important part of the diet in Loma Linda, California as well. Squash is super high in beta-carotene, vitamin A. It's super filling and satisfying, and the vitamin A and the beta-carotene are going to help protect against certain cancers. Of Okinawa, varieties like Kabocha squash are most popular. You'll often see them just lightly steamed or boiled with a little bit of dashi. And don't forget about pumpkin seeds. The flesh is incredibly nutritious and high in beta-carotene, but those seeds are also replete with healthy natural fats. This is a great little snack to put on top of your salads if you roast the pumpkin seeds or eat them raw. And you can also press them into oil. If you're looking for a good variety that is a perfect seed pumpkin, try Lady Godiva. This one you're not going to have to go through the trouble of peeling the outer husk of the seed off. These are a naked seeded pumpkin. Let's take a tip from a woman who lived to be 114. She claimed to eat a sweet potato every day. And indeed, sweet potatoes have been identified as a food that will promote healthy longevity. Okinawans get a remarkable 60% of their daily calories from the sweet potato alone. Tomatoes are replete with the antioxidant lycopene, and when mixed with a fat, cooked with a fat, like olive oil, this is more bioavailable to your body and it's going to help fight free radicals. They're incredibly healthful. Tomatoes are a staple in the Greek diet in Icaria, Greece, in the Sardinian diet. They're also important in the diets of the Seventh-day Adventists of Loma Linda, California. They're even popular in Japan. Tomatoes, and of course Costa Rica. So a few years ago, Baker Creek did a small study where we just tested 10 different tomato varieties to see which ones have the highest antioxidants. And Black Krim came in as number 1. So this is a super beautiful dark tomato. It's a little bit, we would consider this a purple tomato. I love purple tomatoes because they have a really nice smoky, complex flavor, and they're higher in antioxidants. Whole grains are also a major part of the healthiest diets in the world, whether it be the diets of Loma Linda, California, or in the Mediterranean. Things like farro, quinoa, which is not technically a grain, it's a seed, amaranth, which is also a seed. Things like corn can be nixtamalized and made into homemade tortillas. These whole grains make up a big part of these healthy diets. Whole grains in the diet have been shown to help reduce the risk of heart disease and certain cancers. So I hope you guys get out, take some tips from the centenarians, from the oldest, healthiest living people on the planet, and grow yourself a longevity garden. And don't forget, it's not just about what you're eating, it's also about the lifestyle you're living. So that means plenty of exercise, getting outdoor, getting in the sunshine, just breathing that fresh air, being close with your family and friends, and don't forget to laugh a lot, because that is also a secret to longevity.